Hey everyone, this is Chief Meteorologist Brad Benovich for SkiSoutheast.com with your ski update. And what an amazing week we've had, and what an amazing week we have ahead of us. You heard it last week. I talked about the end of this week, how awesome it was going to be. But how great has it actually been in the last couple days? We've had great conditions, some natural snow, not a ton, but just enough to kind of coat the slopes every night. Cold enough weather, the snow guns have been going nonstop, and really the best conditions of the whole season continue, and it's going to get better. We'll start with the first thing because everyone's focusing on this weekend storm. We'll get to that. Everyone's going crazy for that. I get it. But hey, remember, we've got a nice little system coming in, coming up on Wednesday, into Wednesday night. You can see it over the plains right now and into the Midwest. It's slowly moving east. I'll turn off all of our data here. We'll start looking at the model data to kind of show you how this thing's going to unfold. And you can see that area of low pressure. It's a fast-moving system, but it's got some pretty good moisture with it. The other key part of this system is got some really cold air. So we're going to see a rarity. We're going to actually get some powder out of this, it looks like, because it's got some really dry, cold air with it. So we're going to get what we call high snowfall to liquid ratios. You know, we may get 15 or 20 to 1 in some locations. So as we go through tonight into early Wednesday, this is Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. You can see the snow moving across Tennessee into the Carolinas and the Virginias. And again, I'll zoom in here, and you can see pretty good snow stretching from West Virginia down into the North Carolina resorts through the afternoon. This really starts in the morning, but by the afternoon we see some pretty good snows from Wisp to Timberline, down through Snowshoe, Winter Place, down through Beach Sugar, Hawks Nest, and then all the way down towards Cataloochee. Is going to get some decent snow out of this. Obviously, the resorts up north are going to get a little bit more. This is in and out pretty quickly, a little bit of northwest flow. By the time we wake up Thursday morning, everything's gone. So how much snow do we expect to get out of this? Well, we'll show you that it looks like a pretty good dumping here in West Virginia. If I look at the model data, 4 to 5 inches of snow up there, and down in North Carolina, maybe 1 to 3. Outside chance we get 4 inches out of some of this activity. Now we turn our attention to the weekend storm. Why we saw that storm go through. Here comes the next system coming out of the Rockies. I'll be experiencing this here shortly as it moves through Breckenridge, coming up Wednesday into Thursday morning. Interesting thing about this is there's going to be some cold air, it looks like, trapped in place. And let me turn on what we call the sea level pressure, because I think this is going to be important. Here's our low down here over Louisiana and parts of Mississippi and Arkansas. We get wedged in. We've got some cold air parked to the north, which is going to help supply some cold, dry air, especially east of the mountains. But even in the higher elevations of the mountains, we're going to see cold enough air. So here we are. This is Friday morning. We start off with snow, maybe a little bit of ice. There will be some ice mixed in. This is not going to be 100% snow for North Carolina. West Virginia, a little better chance this becomes all snow. But even there, I think we might get a brief mix of sleet at times. It all depends on the track of the low, which is completely up in the air right now. The track of the low shifts 30 miles, and it has a huge impact on these precipitation types, whether you get 12, 24 hours of snow versus 12 hours of sleet versus 6 hours of ice. I mean, this is why I don't have hair and why most meteorologists pull their hair out. They have it because this is the kind of setup where just a subtle change has huge impacts on the forecast. So we go through Friday into Friday night and into Saturday. You can see we've got some snow and ice mixing in, but then on the backside, this is where the real snow comes in. We could get some decent snow on Friday, but on Saturday, you see this setup, this northwest flow, northwest kind of part of the storm, not northwest flow yet. This is kind of that deformation zone you hear me talk a lot about. Wherever this thing sets up right here, this is with the upper level low here. As this moves through the mountains, this is when you're going to get the big snows, maybe thunder snows on Saturday into Saturday night. In fact, if I look at some of the data from, this is the NAM model, by the way, about the amount of snow we could see out of this, you start to see these huge totals showing up in West Virginia. And again, because it's probably going to stay snow most of the time here. So you're talking up towards Wisp, 20-some inches of snow on the ground, maybe 25, 30 inches, Timberline to Snowshoe. Down in North Carolina, 5, 6, 7 inches of snow. Could be a lot more because this only runs through, let me see, this runs through really Saturday night. Now, let me show you some of the other models. First model I'm going to show you is going to be the GFS model, and I'll show you the snowfall moving in. And again, you can't take one model. Everyone's asking me, which model you go with? Well, you got to look at all of them because they all give you a different idea of what's going to happen. So we'll go through Monday morning. You can see the totals up here in West Virginia again. Over a foot, maybe 20 inches in some locations, and could see near a foot in some of the resorts down in North Carolina. Now the European, which everyone's freaking out about, I even saw resorts posting about it. It's great to get excited about the snow, but remember, your skiers can't get to your resort if they're snowed in. So as great as it is, it's going to be impossible if we get this much snow for you to get to the resort. So you got to get there early. Obviously, the European has gone gangbusters with the snow in North Carolina. 30 some inches. Now, the thing you must understand about the European, in some model plots, it doesn't separate snow or sleet or ice. It puts it all together and makes it snow. So even if you have a mix, if you get all ice, it'll show up as snow, and it totally makes a bias. So for instance here, I would cut these totals in half and give you a better idea. If you get mixing, you're still talking 10 to 15 inches of snow. The European model is much farther south than a lot of the other models. That's why you're seeing this shift. So all I can tell you in summary is it's going to be a crazy setup at the end of the week. Somebody's going to get epic snowfall. We don't know where it's going to be, but also it's going to have a huge impact on all the cities of the east. So traveling is going to be horrible. So if you are going to do some skiing this upcoming weekend, you better leave Thursday. And get to the resorts and be willing to be stuck there. Or you may have to wait till Monday until these places can dig out for you to get into them. So great news for skiers, but bad news for travel and getting up there. Remember, it may not all be snow. There could be a mix, which could cut down on the totals. But we're going to easily see the biggest storm in the southeast ski resorts we've seen in probably 2 winters. Easily. That's even with the mix of ice. So I hope you're staying safe. Enjoy the snow coming in Wednesday into Thursday. That's a quick, almost like clipper type system. The big snow starts Friday, Saturday, even lingers into Sunday. It is going to be one heck of a ride. Stay tuned. I'll have another update coming up on Thursday night. As always, we don't have to think snow. We have to think safety here, but I will think snow as well. Hope this lasts well into March.